Hello everyone, 30th September 2022. If you woke up shocked this morning listening to the news, that means you had a very good night's sleep. Alright, because overnight, late at night, government just released new cooling measures that's going to impact both private and public housing. Now let's take a look at what is going on. First, the first cooling measure, they reviewed the loan threshold. If you remember, interest rates for housing has been around 1.5%, hovering 2%, and finally it is pushing up close to 3% and above. Okay, because of that, government has decided to subject all our loans to a new stress test of 4% interest rates. Now, what's going on? Let's put it to action. Now, if you're buying an HDB flat before today, earning 15,000, a 35-year-old couple could have borrowed up to $1 million. That's outright what they can afford, plus their CPF, plus their grants, plus their cash balances. That's why we are seeing a lot of $1 million houses in the market, in the resale market today. But after 30th of September, they can only borrow up to 942,000. All right. Okay, what about private market? If the same couple earning 15,000 decides to buy a private property instead, before today they could have borrowed 1.8 mil. After 30th of September, they can only borrow up to 1.72. Now, in both scenarios, there is a 5.6% purchasing power reduction. All right, actually 6% purchase power reduction is not that bad, but it just gives you a certain signal of what the government wants you to do, to borrow lesser, to be prepared for higher costs moving forward. Next, the second cooling measure. This one, okay, I have my thoughts for it. I'll leave my thoughts later. 15 months time bar if you are moving from a private property and intending to buy a HDB immediately after that. All right. Previously, you can sell your condo and you can buy a HDB immediately. I guess they have the data. I guess they have the data to state to see that a lot of people buying all those $1 million houses, those paying way above market rates, they are all coming from private market, from landed houses. All right. So today they want such people to wait 15 months to relax, to pull the handbrake before they buy a resale HDB flat. If you're thinking of then why don't I buy a BTO or brand new EC? All right, that's already in place a 30 months time bar already. Anyway, but they're saying that if you're above 55 years old, it is okay. All right, because they understand it's a real need, possibly no more income really, right? Um, but they only restrict you. They restrict you only to a four-room flat or smaller. Okay. Now, what now? All right, as you can see here, one of my agent colleagues texted us. This is quite a good point. All right, this will drive back demand back to the private even more. Okay, because those who were intending to sell their condos to buy HDB, now no choice, but you have to buy back another private property, a smaller private property maybe. Now, what's the impact to the market today? All right, you are going to see the top end of HDB flats. When I say top end, the value of 900, 950, 1 mil, 1.5. You just go to Property Guru, HDB, you filter 900K and above. That's a lot. This flat price, this HDB, these units will no longer be as, won't move as fast. I'm not saying it's never going to hit that amount. There probably will be people willing to pay, but lesser number of people. And the sentiment for such houses won't be as strong. That's very important. Sentiment, market sentiment. Now, another segment that will be affected is the private property of the entry level price. Say, same price, around 900K, 1 mil, 1.2 mil range, with a larger floor plate, with 1,000, 1,000, 2,003 and above at that pricing, will actually do well, I feel, over the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, because the knee-jerk reaction will be people who really need to downgrade, they can't buy HDB, they'll buy those cheaper private property, maybe the older ones, 20, 30 years old already. They don't care about the age anymore. HDB also all 30 plus years already. Why are they doing this? Especially to I feel that the 15-month time bar is a big issue. So I read more into it. Clearly, let's read word for word. They want to ensure the resale flats remain affordable. They're not talking about the private property at all. This cooling measure is targeted finally to HDB market, because they've increased the BTO supply over the past year, and next year they're increasing the supply as well, but the prices are still not going down as what, not going down yet lah. Okay, So here they're saying that there's a 15 months wait out period as long as you're buying a HDB flat. Okay, now this is that's very important. This is a temporary measure. Temporary measure. This is the first time they are releasing a new cooling measure and saying that this is temporary. All the cooling measures since 2010 or 13 or 09 are still in place today. But this is the first time that they're saying that this is temporary. So it's okay, guys. In future, maybe 5 years time, maybe 6 years time, they will allow you to buy HDB again after downgrading, after you want to U-turn back to the public housing market, huh? Why? Something happening in 2024, 2025, maybe? Now, I feel this is well intended. Yes, they want to segregate people who can afford private and people who are seeing HDB as their home. All right, they don't want people in the private market to flood the cash, the liquidity into the HDB market and then causing issues for people, first time buyers especially. Okay, but it's poorly designed because we know of people who cannot afford to pay for their private properties because of the current economic climate. It's not good for everyone. All right, some people's OT has been removed. All right, so income isn't so good for everyone, and these people need to sell their private properties to buy an HDB immediately because of affordability, and these people cannot. They probably have to appeal, have to go one big round before they can actually have some financial security. Okay, now who's next? All right, now this is the like what 10, 13, 14, 15, 8, 9, 10, 15 cooling measure in place already. It's not the first time, so I think a lot of people are quite relaxed. It's not shocking anymore to hear such cooling measures. But who's next? All right, if you notice, the cooling measure today is intended more for HDB owners. All right, private property market might be affected soon. What they can do is possibly increase your deposit from 25% to 30%, possibly. All right. And I'm talking about this crisis of confidence. All right. It finally might creep into the property market. Finally. All right. Because in the whole economic markets, we are seeing the US markets, we are seeing the housing markets in US, everywhere in the world, New Zealand all crashing and all that. But in Singapore, we're still going strong because of all the past cooling measures. But maybe we're going to see a crisis of confidence. All right, people will just be more wary for the next 3 to 6 months. If you can take action today, it's one of the best time. All right, blood is on the streets. Let's go for it. Um, yeah, if you ask me, plan for your next move properly. All right, cooling measure. If it affects you, you will have to go back to the drawing board, and then plan out your move again. So, if you want assistance, please give us a call, drop us a DM, and I'll see you soon.